salutation in yoga classes serves the purpose of warming the student up. So it's warming up their physical body, but it's also warming up a little bit their mind's focus or their ability to stay focused on the breath. Because each movement falls in line or has a specific part of the breath that it falls with, then it's not only continuously moving, but it also makes you really make sure that, okay, I have to wait. If I'm moving a little fast, I have to wait for the rest of my exhale before I can move on. So it really tailors and makes your mind focus on the breath a bit more. Ideally, when you stop doing the sun salutations and then you hold positions for several breaths, your mind is better positioned to be able to stay focused on the breath during those times as well. So I also use the hammock integrated into sun salutations, and I have various different ways that I use it. I'll show you a simple one today so that we can take a look at how we can also use metaphor even here, even with the sun salutation, to assist our students' ability to get a little bit more deeper and inside and to let go of mental stuckness, even from the very beginning. So here we go. I'm going to start out facing the hammock, and I'm going to separate my feet just a little bit so that they're more like hip distance apart rather than the feet glued right next to each other. And then I'm going to reach the arms overhead and bring the hands to meet then on the inhale. And then as I exhale, I slice the hands through the center of the hammock and let them rest in the bottom as I allow the arms to stretch a bit more and for the back to melt towards the floor. Then from here, I can bend the knees a little bit more. Maybe you had your knees bent in the first place, but here you can bend them even more and let the elbows bend and take the hands out of the hammock so that you can go all the way to upside down, really dangling over the legs. Inhale, come back up to stand. Avoid banging the hammock or catching the hammock on your head. And then from there, exhale the hands to the heart. So let's take a look at that again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands go into the bottom of the hammock and the hammock supports you as you breathe in again. And then on the exhale, slide the hands out of the hammock, hang upside down. And on the inhale, rewind a swan dive to come back up to stand. And exhale the hands to the heart. So of course, the first 2 to 3 times that you guide students through a sun salutation, you have to give the physical instructions, basically. Otherwise, they're just not going to know what to do. Yeah, so you're going to have to do that, of course. But once they've done it several times, especially if it's a simple version like what I'm doing here, it's not so complex. They'll learn it fairly quickly. And then from there, after they've done it a few times, I can add in just some visual metaphor to help them maybe go a little bit more internal, get a little bit calmer. The mind bring the mind to a little bit more quiet. So let's take a look at one way of doing that. I'm going to think about sun salutation, and that's the sun. So as I inhale, I want to think about reaching up and sort of holding on to the sun in my hands. Then as I exhale, I'm going to bring the sun down nice and slow with that exhale and let it rest just above the horizon. Take a moment there and inhale, inspiration, the beauty of a sunset. And then exhale, let the sun drip down pass beyond the horizon or below the horizon and allow yourself to relax into the darkness that allows you to sleep. Inhale, come back up as the sun rises and hold on to it. Exhale, let yourself find the horizon again. That line between being awake and being asleep, both with your in terms of your enlightenment as well, being awake or being asleep. And then from there, let yourself slip out of the hammock, hang upside down. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Reach the arms up, think of the sun. Exhale, as the sun descends, it takes its time. It seems to hover with a lot of beauty right at that transition moment before you exhale and it drops down and lets go of the sky. Inhale, come back up to stand. And exhale, release the hands to the heart. So partly what I'm doing with that metaphor is not just connecting to the sun, but connecting to the ideas of the cycles of our life, Even if you're not thinking of reincarnation, but just if you don't believe in reincarnation, it doesn't matter. We certainly have the cycles of our days, and we have periods of our life where we're, energized, and we have a lot of, positive things are happening for us. And then we have other times when, it's not so great, right? So we have this moment, that's the transition moment that we can really focus on. And there's a lot of beauty in those transition moments, even if you're going to sink into darkness next. So some of these images can be used in a way to just, help your student go a little bit deeper into yoga philosophy, or even just into their own spirituality.